For in the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. Hello, everyone, and happy Saturday. I need to click a button. Let's try this one. That one works. That one works. Yeah. Hello. Kawaii Mai, Sneeze. Who else have we got in here today? Ooh, Ravon, and of course Noxious Druid. How are you? How are you? Welcome in. Hello again. Steel, 70 months, tier 3. New button. It's not a new button. You've been pressing that for 70 months, good sir. That's a long time. Ravon, thank you for your 17-month. Scopsu with the 68-month. And I know Just Smith was in there somewhere. Thank you too for the resub. Yeah, let's unmute and bring everyone in. Hello.
Hello.
Greetings.
Hello.
Oh,
Hello.
Who's crunching? What you got?
Pork scratchings.
Huh? Yeah, fair.
Can't go wrong.
Right, that's scratchings or crisp?
Scratchings.
Oh, actual. Okay. I'm jealous. So, we're back. Episode 4, Imperium Maledictum. Empress Tears. Conclusion, perhaps? Perhaps.
We're going to draw this out as long as we can.
The final conclusion. The final showdown.
I could have said something incredibly wrong there. That perhaps would have gone against TOS regarding final and my username, but we'll not go there. Lucius.
Jesus.
What happened last time on the Emperor's Tears?
Hold on, giant. Oh, fuck him. I choked.
I've not had enough alcohol for this yet.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, fuck me. Yeah, so last time we, why can I hear myself?
You got the stream open?
No. I do. Yeah, sorry.
That would be why.
I thought I'd muted it, but it was just on very quiet. I don't like that.
See, here's the thing: you don't mute it; you just mute the tab, and then that way I get the the view. You get the points. Everyone's a winner.
Okay, hold on. Mute the tab. Happy?
I am. You get more points, more channel points that you can't spend that way. In fact, you've just spent 1,000.
Yeah, I spent 1,000.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, beat everybody to it, didn't I? It's because they didn't know about it. It's not the point.
Last week, what did you do?
So picking up after the fight with the heretic and the mutant that were at the entrance to the service levels and the oubliette underneath the cathedral itself. We had murder-fucked them into oblivion, and we were about to move on. Well, we grouped back up and about to move on, when Severin noticed a fucking an Inferno pistol just pointing in his general direction. He was like, well, fucking, I don't like that. Hotshot last pistols. I win. And they were like, well, yeah, that's fair. It turns out we bumped into the remainder of the... I don't know if there was 2 different groups.
There was. One of the excavation team. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The Mechanicus dude, who then proceeded to have a screeching match with Tor in Binaric, which everybody just ignored until the end, and we got the TLDR from him. And then there was 2 priests
Just
that were...
for my own benefit, Tor, what does Binaric sound like?
So remember those old tube televisions when you get static on them?
Yeah. I mean,
Usually
in
with, like,
fact, no, I don't.
high
You
pitched screeching.
Just give me an example, just for my own
I
benefit.
can't do that. I won't even voice that.
It was worth a try.
It's think dial-up modem from the fucking 90s.
Yeah. See, I was thinking dial-up, like.
See, that's what I wanted. I wanted some
Yeah.
actual screeching. I'll get you
Make
later.
that a soundbite.
Well, it also, I think people like trying to sound out be like Jim Carrey from Dumb and Dumber. Want to hear the most annoying sound ever?
Oh, good times. Where were we? Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Fucking mechanic, a dude, and 2 priests. We questioned them and may have prodded them a little bit. Don't worry, it was totally not consensual. Tor does what Tor does with his appendage, you know. But we found that they weren't tainted by the blood. And we got some useful information, including schematics of, well, more complete schematics of the service tunnels, which we overlaid on the already existing map that we had, and we got pointed in the right direction, which was nice. So then it was just a case of getting to where we needed to fucking go, which were our first stop was the pumping station area, where we believed they were using the pumping station to pump blood into the statues. However, along the way, as always, these, oubliettes are fucking left to rot and ruin for fucking thousands of years.
I mean,
So
they have the odd servitor go and sweep up every now and again. Every
yeah,
few
I'm sure
hundred
they all
years.
come back. Yeah, exactly. Same servitor.
Yeah. He's still doing the rounds somewhere, probably on like level 7. In fact, he may have been doing the rounds until you... well, what happened to the servitors that were down there?
Well, when we finally got up to where we were going after some trials and tribulations, some pitfalls and cave-ins and shit, we kicked open the door to have fucking combat servitors pointing a fucking heavy bolter at us.
Yeah.
Could have been really bad, but luckily enough, the meat shields fucking saved us. So that was a few less people to kill, and then we proceeded to fucking brain pan the heavy bolter because
No one likes a heavy bolter.
fuck that noise. And then it was just a case of Errol doing his best door impression while everybody else just murdered shit with fucking blade and gun and cat.
Just don't. Do continue.
So yeah, Errol stood there like a brick wall while people burned to death, and then you had Severin and Constantine just braining people with pistols, while their Tor was just like, well, if anybody gets past fucking Errol, I'm just gonna cut you in half. And that's pretty much how combat went.
Yeah.
Yeah. Errol was the immovable object. Which was, it was good times. It was good times.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
I did. And then, well, Finley and Tor were like, really fancy that heavy boulder here. So we spent some time disassembling it.
Yeah.
I don't know how much disassembling was used. It might have just been the case of a chain axe to the joint. And then we checked the red robe leader who had been shot in the booty by Severin. As he was trying to run away. Failed miserably. Hotshot last pistols will do that, man. Yeah, and then we got another map which connected to our map, and they didn't line up because it went off the map. But we found the hole, and now we're back to where we started.
That's it. We ended last session descending a blackened stone stairwell into the unknown depths of the ossuary of Martyr's Rest. Now, Yaskia, you are going to have to move, my dude, because you are on top of my keyboard for starts, and the unnerving glance is you can't lay there. You can just give me 5 seconds just to relocate this cat. Say goodbye to the people, Yask. Say goodbye to the people.
No.
So, very much like his namesake, Yaskir is a pain in the backside at times, but he is lovely. Alright. So then, with that said, anything else anybody wishes to add to that recap?
No, thank you.
No?
No, it was very thorough. It was very thorough.
Yeah.
I mean, I did miss out where Finley's too fucking ignorant to be affected by the warp and could have just been turned inside out. But okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there is that.
Ignorance is bliss.
There's, we'll also ignore the Quasimodo guy who nearly vented you all with blood.
Did he though, or did Severin just fucking put him down like the dog he was?
Alright, so with that said then. Yeah, pick up exactly where we left off last week, descending the blackened stone stairwell. Yeah, I'll reread the part of the spiel just to get us back into it all. But here, the group in this ancient, damp stairwell begins to descend. They are, for all intents and purposes, a group of vengeance, of extreme firepower and bloodthirstiness. Each footstep on the stonework beneath your feet seems to echo into the abyss above and below in this stairwell. The walls, slick with moisture and strange gouges, mar their surface. Scratches, symbols, words half formed as though carved by desperate hands are on both sides the entire length, and the journey down does take a fair bit of time, easily 10-15 minutes. There is a gentle curve as the steps descend, but at the very bottom, reflecting off the slickened walls, is a ominous red glow. As the bottom of the stairwell starts to come into view, the glow sharpens into a even deeper, more sinister red that seems to spill out from the gaps of an enormous iron door that stands slightly ajar. And from beyond this door, the group hears voices rising in a chorus, a hymn of devotion, perhaps madness, perhaps calling to something ancient and profane. Stepping forward, the massive iron door begins to groan loudly on rusted hinges, the sound reverberating like a warning bell as if some unseen hand has opened it to welcome you. As the door creaks open, a wave of oppressive energy and the sharp stench of blood floods the stairwell and assaults every one of your own senses. And before you, here lies a desecrated rectangular chamber, bathed in a pulsing crimson glow. Before you, this chamber seems to house at the far end a grotesque effigy, a statue, that of Saint Tarsian, twisted and contorted with a red, jagged shard punctured into the chest. The light emanating from that pulses like a heartbeat. And within the chamber are over 30... I'd like to say were over 30 cultists, clad in tattered robes, some bearing grotesque mutations, and sitting in neat rows along the sides of this chapel. Their guttural chanting rising and falling in an unholy harmony with the pulse of the shard. And at the very far end, a man robed just like the rest, playing somewhat in tune on an organ. At your arrival in this chamber, though, the chanting falters and dozens of heads turn to greet you with hollow, fanatical eyes. The room falls deathly silent for a moment, save for the shard's ominous hum. From the far end of the room, atop a raised pulpit overlooking the effigy and the congregation, stands a robed figure in red and black. Their arms raised before slowly one of them lowers, pointing a vindictive finger in your direction, and it's there that this voice booms out.
You off-worlders claim to serve the God Emperor, yet you deny the very miracle before your very eyes. You are cowards, doubters, faithless wretches, unworthy of his mercy. True faith demands sacrifice, and I have given everything to his glory. Can you say the same, you who deny the Emperor's will? Witness his glory and be judged. Strike down the heretics.
With a roar, the cultists rise as one, drawing crude weapons, blades, chains, pistols, and spiked clubs, each charging forward. From here, though, as you enter the room, what happens? If you remember, the very start, this is where we left off. So, upon stepping into the room, who wants to go first? If you can remember how we got to this point.
I can.
Go for it.
Severin was the first through the door and tried to take a few shots, kind of not really connecting with the targets he was looking for, and next was Finley, who threw a grenade into a group of them, just completely massacring them. And we then had Constantine, seeing the grenade being very effective, decided to throw his own, causing another group to just get completely massacred. And then Tor, I think, cut down one or two of them in the back. And Earl, I believe, was stomping on the corpse of one that was on death's door as he was trudging forward. And then the cultists took a few shots, nicking a few of us in return for what we'd done to them.
Spot on. Absolutely. And we pick things up as the group now charges into the mass of cultists ahead. Father Albrecht at the far end of the room, chanting, murmuring whilst flicking through a tome on a lectern in front of him. The shard begins to glow. A warp-tainted aura begins to wrap around it. I'm going to need everyone, if you would be so kind, to roll me a corruption check. A corruption test, please.
Now, where is that located? That's a new one.
In the old chat box, you should be able just to click on the button that says resist.
Fortitude or discipline?
Discipline.
What's that
What's
say?
difficulty?
Difficulty is... This is just a... just a challenging, straight 0.
Do we get out our SL to that?
If you wish to use your SL for this round, you can.
And that's a +1 presently, correct?
No, your superiority in this fight is currently +3. You knew what you were getting yourselves into.
That's right.
Oh, corruption is... No corruption added. Everyone's fine. Oh.
Good rolls across the board.
Excuse me, +24? What?
I was confused by that as well, but
What, for you, Finley?
Ignorance.
yeah, but I think that's the ignorance.
That's your... Yes. That is indeed your...
Can never be corrupted, can never use anything slightly related to the war ever.
Correct. Finley's like... Meh.
The closest thing to being a blank there is.
Just being ignorant as fuck.
But yeah, you would all feel the room, the temperature drop. The air starts to grow hazy, and the blood from those who are dead begins to slightly shift, contort. Everyone bar from Finley would notice this, and with those rolls, I dare say you're all more than familiar with that. The taint of chaos in this place is strong. But at the start of combat, Severin, you're up. What are you doing?
Severin is going to, like, James Bond his way over here.
Yeah.
That's as much movement as you're getting around for like as part of an action, correct? One square away.
Your free move is anywhere within the grid that you're in. Your move action is then into anywhere into the next grid. Yes.
Okay. So what he's going to do then is he's going to move all the way over here.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, like kind of like just there. So there's a little, yes, he's going to kind of just try to blast this guy in the back.
Okay. So with the two hotshot las pistols drawn over the edge of the bench.
Yes, just popping up, pew pew, and these he already used his superiority for the corruption test, so these are just flat rolls.
Absolutely correct. First shot hits. This pilgrim doesn't seem to note you as he's in with the rest of the group, so it's going to be unopposed. Oh no!
And
What happens to him?
well, he is so focused on charging forward that the beam punches through the side of him, and he just drops. He crumples. It goes through his rib cage. It ends him in a much more humane way than he probably deserves.
Dirty
And the second
heretic.
one goes wild.
All right. So with the back starting to fall, Finley.
Finley is going to move up to here
Mm-hmm.
and going to use
Yes.
I'm gonna tactical movement, and I'm gonna take cover behind what's left of one of the pews here.
Okay.
And then I am going to...
Choices, little guardsman.
I'm gonna take a shot at the guy all the way
All the way at the back. Yeah. Also,
all the way.
how you doing, Johnny? I have noticed you. I will say my hellos shortly. All right. So from the back, with Father Albrecht praying, murmuring, muttering, you line up the carbine, pull the trigger, send it. What? No. His eyes opened for a quick moment, and he's going to try and dodge this. Oh, and he does! The bolt just whizzes through his hood. The hood starts to burn due to the las bolt, and he quickly just throws his hood down. It's still a crit, though. Yeah, never mind. No, it still dodges completely. Bear with me. I need to check something quick.
How do crits affect dodges?
Yeah. No, I was just double checking. Since you rolled a crit, I hit further one than turn crit. After taking a critical hit, roll D1. Fuck it, roll it anyway. Click on the critical button. I think with a critical, regardless, it's... Yeah. So as he whips his head away from the bolt, he ends up smashing the side of his hip on the lectern. And you just see Father Albrecht just drop to the ground at the far end of the room. He will quickly make a fortitude check just to see whether or not this is super painful.
Stunned for 1 minute. Oh, God.
Well,
He is
so for the record, Steele on his turn commits elderly abuse.
Still got in the hip.
So yeah,
I caused the man to break his hip. Jesus.
Does he have life alert?
Does he have what, sorry?
Life alert.
Oh, me, he'll need it. You just hear this pain grunt from the end of the room as he, just at the last minute, as he dodges out of the way of the las bolt. It rips through his hood. He cracks his hip on the lectern and just falls to the ground. You just hear this. So yeah, he's currently rolling around. I am going to say that he is out of sight behind the lectern as he starts to cower up.
Praying for the fallen gods. Help my fallen and won't get up.
Pretty much. All right. Finley, that's your move. That's your action. Constantine, you're up.
I'm going to move up here, target this guy here,
Yeah.
and hit him with a and chainsaw him.
All right.
So we've got 3 SO, yeah?
Unless you used it in your corruption test.
I did not, because I'm a Giga Chad. Go fuck yourself.
Then yes. He will try and dodge it. And... yeah, that's just going to hurt. It's not enough to drop him low, but it hurts. Anything else? You are ambidextrous?
I am. What's...
Silent Vigil's not a close weapon, is it? Yeah, I mean, you can try and shoot him.
I mean, no. It's not a close weapon. But what's this dickhead doing down here?
Well,
Which one? That
could
one?
you hit him with the vigil? Could you just hit him with the vigil, like pistol whip him?
Yeah.
Could I?
Yeah.
How do I do that?
It would be, I would imagine, just as an improvised attack. So let me quickly throw in
An improvised attack.
an improvised.
weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's a big fuck off revolver. I imagine you could just like hit him with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck it, yeah. I'm gonna brain this dude with a fucking...
With revolver in hand. He can't react because he tried to dodge it, but sadly, having had, I mean, where did you hit him? Body? Did you just carve down the front of this cultist?
Yeah, I basically disemboweled him, so he's now trying to hold his fucking guts in.
As he's trying to stuff his intestines back in, you go in to whip him and he just collapses. All right.
It's my turn.
Tor, what are you up to?
Taking a move out of the cultist look, he's just going to charge straight forward.
All right.
First guy is going to
Oh,
be
good. For a moment, that's an awful like heresy.
No.
I'm going to summon a demon. That's unopposed. Yeah. It's a miss. He just stands there, sidesteps briefly as the chain axe whizzes past him.
Then he's going to use his chain sword
Okay.
in retaliation.
I'll dodge this one, good sir. He sees the chain sword. He sees the chain sword and it's not good. Inflict bleeding instead of damage?
No.
No.
His cultist not with bleeding.
What happens?
Using the first swing with his chain axe as a feint, he's going to basically put all his weight into that chain sword and cut off the cultist's right leg.
The leg is severed, it swings out, and the body just topples. There's a few screams from the cultist for a moment as he starts to reach towards his leg, but it doesn't take long until blood loss puts him out of his misery. Any more movement?
He's going to move forward.
All right. Into the mass.
Yes. Where all the blood is.
Yeah, absolutely. Errol, you're up.
Okay. Well, Errol's a simple man. So he's going to pull out his ripper. But he's not going to aim at the guy in front of him. No. He's going to aim at this guy here.
Right.
I know what's going.
And those guys around him by chance.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
If you could control T on all of those just to target them, that would be grand. Or is it Shift T? Shift T, sorry.
so I just do this. Boom. Actually, nice. Those one.
No.
Oh, man.
Fuck it. No.
Yeah, it's only those are within immediate range, so it would be just those next to him touch him.
Yep, that's perfect.
All right.
That was the donkey.
Yeah, just those guys.
Yeah, just those guys with the Ripper poking out.
Amplifier +3. So I didn't use it for the save.
Oh no.
+6. Oh no.
Oh no. I'm gonna burn their reactions to dodge on all of them.
Good
No,
call.
as they oh my god, as they see the Ripper gun poking over the shield, they start to scramble to the side. This isn't looking good, boys, for them.
Didn't go well, Solution.
No, it didn't. Let me apply the damage to all of those. Errol. As the Ripper gun opens up, what happens to them all?
Well, they get faced by a muzzle that's basically the size of a Coke can. And fear just takes over. There's bodies scrambling anywhere, but it's a shotgun at close range. And it just turns them into paste.
Nice. That was pretty rough. Right, I'm actually going to just quickly change and log in as observer on a different window. So bear with me, because I was having that same issue that I was having last week. Yeah, for some reason, it just doesn't like... No. There we go. Yeah, Edge doesn't like Imperium Maledictum. All right.
Oh no.
With this now absolutely horrific mass of bodies in the center, the warp taint across the entire area begins to strengthen even more. How many pilgrims are left? 2? 1, 2, 3, one at the front, guy at the back.
5.
Simultaneously, not enough and too many.
So, the guy who's on the floor, having been stabbed by Constantine, will lash out towards you at disadvantage because he's on the ground. No point.
Yep.
No. He reaches out weakly. Nothing happens. The other pilgrim is going to, seeing this giant slab of metal in front of him, is going to instead swing out towards Tor. So, Tor, this one's to you. Never mind. 2 pilgrims at the back are going to look towards Severin and put some rounds from their stub handguns into him. First shot. Is a good one. Severin. Any reaction?
I think I have to try to dodge that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you dodge. Shot just whizzes by, missing you by millimeters. The other pilgrim will move around and do the same again. Stub handgun at the ready. A shot rings out across the chapel and misses. And last but not least, the guy playing the organ at the far end of the room is going to free move into his end of the zone and then move into this grid and start to run down stupidly perhaps, towards his friends. Then brings us to Father Albrecht, who is stunned. And let me double check. Additionally, he must make a chance of pain or for 1 minute, so he's out of it, completely out of it for 1 minute. There is no... Oh, yes, there is a way I could have done it. Never mind. It's all good. So, with that, top of the round, Severin, over to you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's me.
Okay.
He's just beeline it down there, get behind that statue so the crippled old man can't like see him. His entire mind is on just assassinating him.
Roll me a quick, easy awareness sight check, please, Severin.
Okay. If there's like bubbling, roiling energy, he's gonna try to stop that. Yeah. He wants to get to there where the organ was. Awareness, sight. Oh, shit. You know what?
Go on.
I haven't used this round. Still failed, right?
-2. Yeah, you don't see much as you make your way closer. You would just see that he is slumped against the lectern. He is awake, and he is muttering something, but over the din of combat behind you, you can't make out too many details at the minute, but he's definitely doing something.
I figured as much.
Something is happening. And something not good.
Yeah. I don't suppose it got anything to do with that combat log just above that awareness test. So, yeah. That's Severin. Just. Yep.
That was the wrong button. I'll get rid of that one for the minute.
That might have been.
Okay. So yeah, that's any actions, or was that your move?
Move, and then I used the actual action to move into that next square.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are aware now that he is doing something pretty bad. You don't know exactly what.
Listen, there's a lot of heresy going around here. It's all bad. We're dealing with it as we take it. It's fine.
I would also say it's at this point, at the start of the turn, that you would see the statues at the edge are also now starting to cry more blood. This is unusual, considering that the pumping station should be deactivated. But as the blood begins to pour from the eyes, it starts to bubble and burst, and then all of a sudden just gouts of blood begin to spew forth into the room from the statue. Okay. Finley, you're up.
Alright, Finley's gonna get out of his cover and move over to here and take cover again. And he's going to pull his favorite grenade, crack grenade, from his waist, tap it on his helmet, and he's gonna throw it up onto the altar.
Excellent. All right. Send it. Are you using your superiority?
Yep, I will be.
It's like Gimli and Legolas competing for kills.
I rolled it. I don't see it though.
Bear with me. We might have that little bug after. Yeah. We've had that.
Jiggy refresh.
Jiggy refresh.
Yeah.
Yeah, this bug will be fixed for the next one. I basically just need to update it to the more recent Imperium Maledictum. Even with disadvantage, holy shit, good toss. It's nothing you can do. It's on an unopposed roll. What's the damage of a crack grenade?
Yes.
12.
12. Okay. Bear with me because it's logged me into as observer on my DM screen as well. There we go. The organ starts to play on its own accord in the background as all of a sudden, boom, the rippling at the far end of the room as a crack grenade detonates. Does that have rend or anything? Believe crack grenade probably should.
Loud, penetrating, and spread.
Yeah.
I don't see anything about rend on it.
Penetrating. What's the number of penetrating?
4.
Fucking hell. All right. Finley, as this crack grenade goes off, what happens to him?
As Finley taps it on his carapace helmet and just throws it, it sails through the air and just hits Father Albrecht in the face before just dropping right in front of him and going off, causing just everything in that area to break and shatter, cracking the stone, statues, parts that just go flying everywhere.
Father Albrecht's body is split and ripped apart as the crack grenade sucks in and then detonates. It's almost like the front of him's pulled forward, blood, flesh, bones separated, pulled towards this explosion before, in a microsecond, getting spread and scattered across the altar. Awesome. Anything further, Finley?
I will then take cover behind the pillar or the pew here.
Okay.
And kind of watch for anything, hoping that the rest of the guys will be able to take care of the rest of the cultists.
Take care of business. All right. Constantine.
This guy on the floor, I'm going to use an improvised attack.
Just try not to target for melee going forward. Don't target them. Just untarget and just roll it straight.
Okay. I'll have advantage on this because he's prone, right?
Absolutely. He's not going to dodge. He's on the ground. He's holding his guts in. That's a straight unopposed. What do you do?
I stamp on his fucking head. I'm just like, just like, get out the way. Just brain him on the cobblestones. Dirty in my pristine boots as we go. And then this other guy is going to get the chainsaw. Don't target, yeah?
Yeah, don't target. Just, I think that's the issue at the minute with this version. If you do opposed melee test, it starts to screw a few of the backhand calculations. He will try and dodge. It is a crit. So he fails by 3, so damage of your chainsword plus
is
3.
5 plus 3.
8 is enough. Never mind.
Enough?
It's enough. What happens?
Oh, okay. Well, I just I hit him with it in the hip, and it like he gets stabbed by a couple of teeth, and he goes, "Ah, what the?" And then I fucking activate the trigger and just go and just push the fucking chainsaw into his hip, and it just digs in as he just wails and screams like a stuck pig.
Nice. Okay.
And then I'll move. You know what? No, I won't. I will stay where I'm at.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Alright. Tor.
Alright. Tor knows the two guys ahead of him have guns, so he's going to close the distance so they can properly get a shot off. He's going to come up here.
Yeah.
He's going to target the guy in the middle of the aisle first.
Absolutely. Who's trying to swing the stub pistol round to point it in your direction.
Let's go.
I don't think he can dodge a +6, but we'll give it a go.
Oh, no.
We'll give it a go. No, so it's the damage +3. What's the damage of the chain axe? If you say 5, he's dead.
Chain axe damage 5.
Alright. 5 + 3, 8. What happens to the guy who was about to stick the stub pistol in your face?
So Tor is basically swinging this from his left to his right. So the blade of the chain axe is going to cut into the guy's neck. He's going to turn it on, and the guy's head's just going to go tumbling through the air.
The body
with the man in front of him.
Yeah, the body slumps to the ground.
The man in front gets the sword.
If she could hear this, she would be very offended. Oh, get fumbled, bitch.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna leave it. What happens? There's a lot of blood on the ground there, Tor. A lot of bodies.
A lot of blood on the ground. So with the blood and bodies on the ground, his foot's just going to catch a body wrong as he goes to swing, and he's going to stumble and fall over.
Awesome. She's already just shakily starting to move the pistol towards you. Errol, you're up.
Hello. Okay. Errol is going mobile.
Don't.
The dead body can be.
Durdum. 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 And I want to move right to the edge of the zone.
Yeah, I'll move that body out your way for you.
Cool. This guy next to me, he's going to get a shield bash for his trouble.
All right. Send it.
Thank you, Dick. Do that. Hang on, I need to change that to Field Slam, which is that one, and that one, that, then that.
Shakily, she just sees you charging towards her, Errol, as she starts to sidestep out of the way, pointing the gun towards Tor, and as you bash out with the shield, you, with her being so small and frail, you just miss her. Not through your own fault, it's just she's squirrely.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And that was your move action. No, that was just your move in the zone. You do have a move if you wish, or are you staying where you are?
You know what? I'm going to move right to the edge
Okay.
and cross into the next zone.
Okay.
But right up in this guy's face.
Yeah. He's already running and he just starts to skid to a stop along the carpet as you approach with this shield. His pale face goes paler in sheer horror, just seeing this bloodbath ahead of him. And with that, pistol at close range, disadvantage. He's going to just shoot you, Errol.
Cool. Actually, no.
It's just, the bullet just bounces off the slab shield harmlessly. And Tor is going to get a crude weapon. A -1. No. You can react to attack back if you want. You're prone actually. Oh, you were prone.
Yeah,
Oh, I had
Should have had
advantage. Never mind. I'll let the dice lay where they go. So that's fine. I'm going to say it misses. That's the 2 remaining pilgrims. Father Albrecht lies scattered across the altar at the end of the room. It's been an hour. Before we pop into round 3, shall we have a quick break there just to refill the drinks?
Yeah, awesome.
And allow me to catch up on chat quick because it's been popping. Oh dear. All right. Scroll. There we go. Yeti, thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate it, buddy. I appreciate it. 9 months Twitch baby time. It is. Also, Hellbound, good to see you again, mate. How are you? I hope your little Cyberpunk campaign's been going swimmingly with Ravon. It's system using has the ability to be in a starty. So, Noxious, Imperium Maledictum is just low-level stuff. So it's you are rogue trader members or Inquisition members. So it's not Astartes level stuff. If you want to do your Space Marines, the Wrath and Glory game is built around that. As for my tastes, I prefer the more granularity of Imperium Maledictum. Wrath and Glory is a little more, I want to say beers and pretzelsy. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're more of the minutiae. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Does
a little bit more cerebral activity than just their brain matter leaving their head.
Yeah. Does I've refunded your points because I missed that one at the time. Hey, Snake Eyes, how you doing, man? And yeah, I think with that, Link, you're the tech in that. Oh, okay, so you're the. I see. You're the techie in Ravon's campaign. You've not killed him yet. Try harder, Ravon. All right, I'm going to throw out the banner just while I quickly grab a refill on the drink. And Alorana, thank you for the follow. Welcome into the chaos. Don't worry. I've got something to do. All right, I'll be 2 seconds. I'm going to go refill the drink.
I must say, Chad, I'm slightly concerned about the cursed Kool-Aid coming out of these statues.
Oh no.
Oh no, indeed.
They got red on them.
It's not wrong.
See, obviously we have the portrait for Errol, but all I can picture for Errol is Chunk from the Goonies with a Gatling gun.
I mean, it's pretty legit.
Yeah, it just.
It's like if Chunk and Sloth did the fusion dance.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, Sloth. But yeah, it's like that. It's just, goddamn.
Stuff, love, baby Ruth.
Baby Ruth.
You know. Next investigation, the Chaos Powers win because they bribe Errol with a candy bar.
I mean,
Fucking
that's the way to
heretics.
bribe him. Yeah, that's the way to bribe him.
Oh, I'm back. Banner.
Yes.
There we go. Okay. So, it's time to roll sleeves up. End of the term.
Gamer mode activated.
Wow. End of the turn. What happens? There's a dip in temperature. Even further, you begin to see your breath coalescing in the air in front of you as you all exhale. Even the cultists start to shiver, shake. Puddles of blood that have now started to slick the ground begin to almost pull back towards the statues. At the far end of the room, pieces of Father Albrecht that have been scattered on the back statue and around the altar seems to have this faint reddish purple hued shimmer to it. Severin, you're the closest, followed by Finley. Severin, if you roll me an easy awareness sight check. Finley, if you can just roll me an awareness challenging sight check, please.
An awareness check? You mean that thing that I'm supposed to be really good at, but I fail consistently?
Finley sees nothing.
Oh no, he's ducked behind that pew.
Jeez.
That dice is rigged. I saw that fucking just turn there. Bullshit.
This is back to the statue. He's looking at the fucking wall. He has no idea what's going on.
Oh, man. All right. Start the turn. Severin, you're up.
Severin is going to pop up and look over this little barrier towards where Albrecht was.
Uh-huh.
Is there anything there that's left of him?
Yes, there are pieces of him that were ripped apart by the crack grenade, but they are now starting... You would see the blood starting to pool together and, like tendrils, begin to latch onto pieces of flesh at the far end, as if drawing bits of the body back towards the bloody pulp in the middle.
Well, that's not good. And is there anything, like, obviously there's this open door at the north side.
Yeah.
Is there there's nothing visible through that, right? It's just a door.
Yeah, as you glance towards it, it just seems to be maybe a small office that holds records or old relics or things used in ceremony when perhaps this place was a chapel hundreds of years ago. There's no noise coming from there. There's no sounds of boots on stone.
Well then. So the first he sees this guy like kind of like potentially being put together back like Humpty Dumpty with warp energy. But what I'm curious about is this gem.
Mm-hmm.
The statue, is it like a very large statue or just something that...
I would say it's roughly 2.5 meters tall. It's slightly larger than the average person. Roll me an investigation. Challenging, considering the the situation.
Investigation. Where are you? Challenging.
I believe it's logic.
Yep. No idea. Okay. Well, Severin sees this guy kind of like there's like all this stuff going on with him pulling himself back together. And the only thing you can think is that this is the cause of it.
Mm-hmm. A statue of Saint Tarsian.
Yeah. He's gonna shoot it.
All right. You shoot the statue.
No, he's gonna shoot the gem.
Shoot the gem. Okay.
This can only go well.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, well, I can't target it.
Yeah, just roll a. Yeah, don't worry about targeting. Just roll an attack.
Just trying to do something rather than just let this heresy happen. And
absolutely.
That's gonna be a +3.
Yeah. You shoot towards the gem. The first shot hits it. There is a violent crackle of warp energies as the crystal begins to crack along the center. Perhaps another hit would be enough to break it.
Not entirely convinced that's a good thing, but
Roll me a. Let's go for discipline.
Okay.
No. Yeah.
So, all right, hear me out. This thing has been in a little, like, circular room for hundreds of years. It was not destroyed for some reason, either because they couldn't or because it was a bad fucking idea. One of those two things is true. So, the thing is, this guy is just the void ship backstreet gunslinger who's like, I got nothing, and this guy is putting himself back together like some kind of a freaking ooze monster. So yeah, that's where he's coming from.
Okay. Yeah. Roll me a discipline psychic. Challenging,
yeah.
please.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be fantastic. Yeah, nothing.
Yes, release the seal. Release me.
This voice echoes in your mind from this effigy of Saint Tarsian. More specifically, the crystal.
All right, so very quickly, Severin is going to radio because Finley, we need to get that crystal back to the place where it was contained before.
Oh shit! All right.
And he's going to have his other pistol ready. So if anything pops up over here, he's going to just shoot it. Just off blast, yeah.
Well, with that being, a thing, let's say that whilst you turn to vox towards Finley, the voice of something beyond the veil echoes in your mind, and the room dips to sub-zero temperatures. A wave of cold whips through. The blood from the statues just begins to pour out. And with this increased warp presence in the room, all of the tendrils that were only slowly starting to pull Father Albrecht back together just suddenly reach out, suck in all of the viscera along with the blood from the statue behind him, and emerging from where Father Albrecht's body is now this mutated, tentacled chaos spawn. I need everyone to witnessing a chaos spawn's a pretty corrupting effect. So,
this is fine.
I'm gonna have to ask for when I find the damn thing. One of those tests, please, boys and girls.
Does it matter if we do fortitude or discipline?
Depends on your stat, really.
Yeah, discipline's usually. I mean, it depends on what you've got. A higher number in.
Then our SL does not apply to this, right?
It can do if you wish to use it for the round. Yeah, from the far end of the room, flesh begins to mold, claws begin to grow, tendrils reach out, and with this horrific gargling, multiple heads begin to poke out from this massive flesh. One of them looks somewhat vaguely similar to Father Albrecht's, or at least half of it does, the half that wasn't vaporized by the crack grenade. Holy shit, you, apart from Severin and Tor, one corruption, it's not bad. You're alright. Alright, Severin, so with that then.
A mutant.
That's not chaos. That's no chaos, that's a mutant. Severin, I will give you that action you were going to go with.
Okay. Boop. Do. Combat. So, how do I evoke burst?
Burst. When you target and right-click on attack, I believe it gives you the option to burst from the weapon prompt.
It does. Okay. Huh. Oh, that was. So Severin just starts spraying the pistol across this because of the voice and everything else going on. It just kind of goes over or around this mass, just missing because it's not in the space where it's forming when the bolts pass through.
Mm-hmm. Just contorting and swirling. You're ambidextrous though.
My first shot was to blast.
It was, you're right. Yeah. So, the rest of you from the other end of the chapel just see Severin blat out. Bits of masonry start to crumble at the invisible bolts from his whisper pistol. Finley, you're up.
One wasn't enough. How about two? He's gonna pull his last crack grenade, smack it on his carapace helmet, and send it flying.
I love the image of that, just clunk, yeet.
This isn't numb,
Actually,
Dagenham or Chippenham?
Space
Before I
now.
do that, I'm gonna move to here
Okay. Yeah.
and then throw it.
Okay.
Is that still disadvantage for distance? Or...
Nope. That would now just be a normal.
All right. And the crack grenade's gonna go.
It's a solid one. Damage of a crack grenade is
12 with penetrating 4.
unopposed. 15 damage. It's good. It's really good. As you throw the crack grenade, Finley, you see it impact against the chaos spawn. Pieces of flesh again sucked towards the epicenter of the explosion before being sprayed and shattering out. Crack grenades are efficient, deadly. One's not enough to bring it low. But you do see there is now a massive undulating, pulsing flesh that's bleeding all over the floor. And you could see inside several organs are now beginning to hang out of this hole you've made with the crack grenade.
I'm gonna, after he throws it and sees all this, he's gonna vox bead to everyone. We gotta bring it down. We have to bring this thing down.
All right. Constantine.
Constantine is gonna like skid to a halt and be like, nah, fuck that. he's gonna plant his feet, hook his silent vigil into his augmatic, ready and aim, and shoot this fucking thing.
Yep.
Kapooyah!
It's a good roll. Having been hit with a crack grenade, it's going to attempt to swing its writhing mass away from this incoming bolt, which is probably a bad idea. Or not. Or not.
Chummy bastard.
Just as it swings itself round. The shot passes through the hole that was made by the crack grenade. It cares not for your bullshit.
Jammy bastard. Fucking 3. I can't move because I took an
Aim
I
shot.
didn't aim, did I? Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, I took an aim shot. Yeah. Okay. Then that's me done.
all right. So, from your position on the ground,
Or he doesn't like what he's seeing at the end of the room, obviously.
Why
But at the
not?
same time, there's a danger directly in front of him. So as he's on the ground, he's going to leg sweep this girl
Okay. Yeah.
and try and grapple her.
Okay. I believe that's a athletics might check against their athletics or dexterity, I think. So they're good at neither, which is cool.
Good, because I'm not good at athletics.
Let's go with... Yeah, we'll do athletics as well. Come on, Pilgrim. Come on. Oh.
Yes!
She too now drops to the ground as you grapple onto her. How are you grappling?
So he's going to leg sweep her, and as she comes down, he's going to hook one arm around her neck in a sleeper hold.
Mm-hmm.
And then his other arm is going to twist her arm behind her back. And due to his nice little talent here,
Oh, no.
called Bone Breaker,
Oh, no.
he's breaking her arm.
What?
Anyone that I'm grappling, let's see. Well, no, that's an action, so that'll be next time.
But regardless, nothing they can do. She's restrained, grappled on the ground. This blade, syringe-filled mechadendrites probably just whirring in her ear. All right. More tentacle. Yes, it's coming. Errol, you're up.
Okay. Oh. Errol's seen a big threat. The people aren't the threats. So Errol's just going to run through this person
Okay.
to the edge of the room.
Just whilst you're running, just for the sake of it, not that it's going to do anything. Carry on.
Yep. So I'm going to use my movement to get into the next box. Oh no, it's the same box, isn't it? Couldn't see the red line. So
Yeah,
red.
so good. I know it's a lot of red, mate. A lot of red.
Yeah. And
But you can get into that region if you want.
Can I? Cool.
Yes. Yeah.
In that case, I shall get into that region.
Okay.
Just for the sake of things. And I'm gonna just aim the Ripper at this thing.
All right. It can't do any reactions because it dodged the hand cannon shot earlier.
Marvel. Ain't this squirmy?
Send it with the Ripper gun.
I've got to re-equip my Ripper.
It's so good.
Boom, boom. And of course I'm going to rapid fire it.
I mean, it'd be rude not to.
Oh no, that's the wrong box. And of course I'm going to add 3 into this box.
Mm.
So I can.
Clink. Oh my god.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Versus 4,500.
That can't be right, but fuck it. I'll take it. Where's that? Where's it getting that number? But base 45. I don't think it's meant to be that high, but
No, I don't think it's meant to be that high either.
Plus 458 damage.
Do you want me to roll it again, see if I can... in case I've done something wrong?
I don't think you have, but yeah, just yeah, if you don't mind, just see where that's coming from.
Arrow just tears a hole of like space and time into the warp itself.
45, yeah, I'm not sure. So even so, I mean, 11 versus 45, so it's fine. So basically, it would have been the a +4
Yeah.
on an 11
And a crit.
and a crit. So yeah. So it's still a hell of a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Oh, I got the pilgrim targeted rather than the. That's why. Yeah, because I'm not sure what's going on there. Because even that pilgrim got a ridiculous amount. Anyway, long story short, damage of a Ripper is
A lot.
a lot.
It is 11.
11. With it being 11 plus 4 takes it to 15. With it being a crit. Oh, actual maths. Hold the phone while I
What
double
does
check.
rapid fire do for it?
I think that might actually be why it's so. So let's have a look. Should do a hit, yeah. Hit deals damage from the attackers normal. After dealing damage, make a severity roll. Okay, so roll the crit anyway.
Okay.
Struck in the forehead.
Struck in the forehead.
Blinded.
In fact, that was a headshot as well.
Bleeding.
That might be why it was so much damage, mate. Because that was a crit headshot with rapid fire. I'm not too sure about the maths, but regardless, mate, that's enough to clear the Chaos Spawn. It's only got 15 wounds left, and just on the 11 plus the difference in SL would be enough to drop it. It may be because I need to update Imperium Maledictum, but yeah, it's what happens to it?
Errol just starts screaming as he's running down the middle of the temple. And just as he skids to a halt on this dodgy bit of carpet. He presses down on the fire button and cranks his little cranking handle. And Boom Boom just goes off. Bah, 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 bah. And he just sprays this thing all up. But with his last few shots, just hitting it bang on the forehead. And there's blood and gore splashing back and just hitting the shield. And Errol's just giggling away to himself because his arm's tickling because of the gun.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to say for that, with a damage of 458, you just go to town and expend the entire magazine. But yeah, there is very little left as the Chaos Spawn just peels in the center where its head used to be. Part of it flops down, begins to bubble and boil into this visceric mess. The other half does the same. The cultists nearby would start to... cultists, two remaining. One can't speak because he's getting grappled and she's having Tor beat her down. The other one, the musical pilgrim, is going to quickly spin round while screaming, just, no, the words of the Black Angel are in my... No, you need to go. You need to go. As he says this, behind you, Finley, the sound of a stub revolver goes off and you hear the crack of the bullet just whiz by your head. Vindictive Pilgrim on the floor. I'm going to say that this backlash of warp energy means she'll just struggle in your hold, Tor, until it's up to you. Albrecht didn't get a chance. But you would all begin to notice that from the pools of blood on the ground that these statues are starting to spew out. Who would be the nearest? Errol, you would see it. Severin, you would see it. Constantine, at the gore around your feet, you would also see that. Any pool of blood around you, as you quickly glance and look to it, there seems to be leering faces, demonic faces. Faces that would revel and bathe in joy of bloodletting. And it seems that these faces are getting closer. These pools of blood, almost like mirrors, almost like perhaps portals. And you see these demonic faces getting closer and closer to the edge of the pools of blood. It's almost as if they're crawling their way through an underground tunnel to get to you. They're not, of course. Anybody dealt with demons before?
Can I roll a law check to find?
I mean, I'm about to say, yeah. If you feel you've dealt with demons before, absolutely roll me a just a straight law check.
What if you're kind of specialized in forbidden mitigate? Thinking about the forbidden lore.
Forbidden lore? I mean, it's yeah, sure. Whatever you think's appropriate. So, whilst you may not have faced or truly comprehend what exactly these creatures are making their way towards you, you are very much aware that this blood at the minute seems to be a gateway to the Imperium, and things are making their way towards this room. Severin, you're up.
Well then, so watching Errol just turn this guy into applesauce. He doesn't want to get too close to that gem, but he's under the impression that Finley, for some reason, is like the Rain Man of dealing with chaos taint. So he's going to move to here and just basically take up a position because he and
Break the shard, release me. Set me loose.
and this guy. Yeah, we're gonna put the 3 SL on this because I really want this guy to be gone.
It's a plus.
Marginal
it's fine.
success.
Yes, it's good. Go for it.
All right.
Boom. Oh, 7 damage. No, don't go for it. It's not enough.
Oh, I thought he was gonna dodge it. Okay.
No. It's not enough to kill him.
And a flat roll.
Oh, the dice hates you. Yeah, he's gonna unopposed. Stood there, hands shaking, as the smoke begins to trail off with it pointed towards Finley. The first shot hits him in the side. The second shot, you were expecting him to move, I would imagine. So you try to line up the second shot. He doesn't do as you expect and just stands still.
Very well.
Anything you want to shout to the rest?
I don't think that Severin has any idea. The only experience he has with the warp is like growing up on void ships. Like you hear there are warp phenomena like in transit, but he doesn't actually know anything. He just knows superstition, so he's not doesn't have anything to tell anyone really.
Okay.
And that's his turn.
All right. So we then go to you, Finley.
So Finley's still remembering what Severin told him. He's going to run up to the gem.
Yep.
And pull it off the statue and take off back out of the room at a full sprint with the gem in hand.
All right. Roll me a easy.
Get it away from here.
Roll me an easy athletics might check, please. Because this thing is buried deep into the chest and will require a fair bit of tugging. Sure. That's a +9. That's a good roll.
He's had a lot of experience in tugging.
So you reach up, Finley, grab hold of the shard, and rip this thing out of the statue.
And I'm going to use my sprint to then
Absolutely
make it past Constantine, trying to get out of here with it.
Yeah.
Try and stop whatever's happening.
I am going to need you to make me a moderate exposure to corruption. This is just a straight challenging roll. but it is moderate corruption. This is fucking... Gah!
Finley gives 2 fucks.
With his prize in hand, Finley just sets off at a sprint, running down the chambers. The rest of you would see the leering faces now starting to approach all of the puddles and pools of blood in the ground. And as the closest to you, Constantine, would see that for a moment the face seems to stop, almost as if it's touching the edge of the blood, like the blood itself is a barrier, a mirror, a wall. But it's this bloodletter is starting now to try and push its way into the material realm. What are you up to, Finley?
Is this
Constantine? Oh, this is every.
Is this
This is everywhere.
Every-
Every puddle,
everywhere, okay.
every pool of blood that you look. So this is not like one demon. This is multiple trying to, preparing to break through.
Constantine is going to take out like his necklace. He has a symbol of the like everybody wears an aquila, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he's going to take off his necklace, hold it up above his head, and start chanting a prayer. The Emperor's light, it binds you, it pushes you away. And he's just going to start praying and just like give the rites of abjuration to the blood to try and hold them at bay.
Oh shit! Okay. What would you think? What would you say that is?
I have no idea.
I mean, a cookie. I mean, that's presence, perhaps,
A presence
or
check? I can give you.
psychic mastery. I think psychic mastery might be the.
Psychic
Yeah,
master?
I would. Let's go with an easy psychic mastery against the bloodletters. Ooh. Fortitude.
Oh, okay.
So challenging fortitude from the bloodletter to an easy psychic mastery test.
Can I also burn a fate to get advantage on this?
Absolutely.
Cool. How do I do that?
Roll it, I think, or
Roll fate.
yeah, roll fate, or you can roll it and use your fate to re-roll it. Let me have a look.
Okay. So just roll it, name it, normal, and then.
Yeah. And then if you right click, you can then re-roll fate re-roll test or fate add SL. And you can spend as much fate as you want, I believe.
Boom.
God damn it. So
You shouldn't have told me I could.
as you reach forward with the holy icon, the Aquila of the God Emperor of Mankind, and begin to chant, these blood letters seem to recoil momentarily from this mirror-like blood pool on the ground. All of them in silence. You can't hear what's being said from them, but they hiss angrily. And from each pool of blood on the ground, you would see what looks to be fire erupting on the other side as various flaming swords start to be pointed at the edge. But they are held back. Action. I love it. Any movement?
No.
No. So you're going to
I'll
hold them
just
at
hold
bay.
my place in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
And chant like a fucking, like I am fucking space Jesus.
Okay. In that case, then we go to Tor.
And Tor make an effort to stand up while still restraining this woman.
I'll let you do it. Absolutely.
Okay. And then he's just going to look around him, seeing all the faces in the blood. And he's going to believe he's going to need a human shield. So he's going to take her and just start walking backwards. Out of the room.
All right. Roll me a human Medicaid. Easy human Medicaid check, please, Tor. Just to perhaps sedate. Because this cultist will, if you're just wanting to drag them, will not go willingly into the night. So yeah, if you're happy with that, your mechadendrite grabs a shot into her neck. She goes limp.
I'm very happy with that. No. He'll end it there.
Okay. Errol.
Well, feeling quite proud of himself that this thing's dead, he's going to turn around and look for something else to kill. Oh, and look what's in front of him. Da-da, da-da. And,
Yeah.
he's going to shoot him.
This poor cultist.
Yeah. He made his bed.
And tonight he won't get to lie in it. With the Ripper gun pointed towards... Yeah, it's a plus. That's enough. What happens, Errol? 11 damage.
So, Errol brings up the Ripper and fires slightly earlier than he wanted, and it just blows this guy's leg clean off at the hip. And he sort of pirouettes around, spraying blood everywhere. And Errol's like, pretty. And then collapses.
Awesome. With that, though, that does bring us to... the end of the fight. With the statues continually now just... In fact, roll me a awareness sight check, everyone.
With or without the superiority?
If you wish to have it one last time, I'll let you have it.
I'm gonna take it without because I feel like it's just better.
Tor can't see shit because of his statue. Constantine, you would feel a slight lessening. The temperature does start to warm up, but with your eyes closed, with the continual chanting, you're not certain.
Okay.
Errol, you're watching the pretty pirouette of blood. But Finley and Severin, you would see, as from your positions, if you start making your way back towards where Finley... Finley, you would see it as you're running through anyway. That's the faces on the other side of the blood are being held back. The temperature in the room warming. the previous glow from the statue, from the effigy at the far end of the room, is dissipating. In your hands, Finley, this crystal would feel warm, tingly. Maybe the odd voice would whisper, but there's no end of creaks and groans this far underground. But it does seem that with this crystal removed from the effigy, the chanting quietened, and Constantine's efforts to hold back the bloodletters, you've all got a chance to take stock and perhaps get out of this shithole. What do you all do?
Finley,
Are you running off, Finley? Or are you going to give us time to regroup?
yeah, I mean, he's going to give us. He'll give him time, but he wants to get that thing out of there, given the fact that everything is improving as soon as it was moved.
Okay, then Constantine will catch up, and he'll just continue to chant at Finley's side, just to make sure this fucking whatever's in this crystal doesn't get out.
Tor is going to wait for Errol and Severin at the door. Just so whenever they move past him, he's just going to push his prisoner back inside the room so they can shut the doors.
Okay. The only thing that Severin can think to do there, because he's kind of still like right near where the creature was. The pulpit he was standing at, was there anything he was reading from, or was he just standing there?
There, he was indeed reading from something. And
Okay.
with the crack grenade detonating, the tome that was on it would probably have flown towards the organ and the cogitator in the far corner.
Okay, so Severin doesn't really want to, but he knows it's probably a good idea to grab things that are significant, so he's going to go grab this book and start taking off after everyone else.
Okay. You find the tome. It's had a few... the front cover and a few pages have been blown apart, shredded by the sheer force of the crack grenade, but for all intents and purposes, this thing's still in one piece. It's not been completely turned to tatters.
Does it look like an ecclesiarchy tome, or does it look like something else?
At a glance, it certainly looks old. What remains of the front cover and the back's leathery in nature, a dried beige. It looks old, ancient, not ecclesiarchy in nature. Are you going to have a quick flick through whilst it's in your hand, or are you just
he's not opening that shit. he's just got it, and he's like, all right, yeah, okay. Like, quick stock of like, does this look like it's the article? Okay, we're good. Because the Inquisitor's going to want to see that, and it's incredibly damning evidence. But no, he's not intending to look inside of it. No.
Okay. Tome in hand, you dash towards the door as you all begin to ascend the black stone stairwell. Tor, you throw your half unconscious, half paralyzed meat shield back into the room before drawing the two heavy iron doors closed. There is no lock on this side of the doors, though.
There are handles there, though, right?
There's handles.
Or are they just two
Yeah,
giant handles?
there would be two relatively large, circular, almost knockers that are to use as handles.
two large knockers.
I don't think he has anything to basically like finagle the doors to lock them shut. He doesn't.
Anything anyone else has that they might want to do?
Not till we can get radio contact with the Inquisitor.
Okay.
Because I'm guessing seven layers down underground. Probably not gonna get through to the fucking ship, yeah?
Well, not unless we find their broadcast room.
Oh shit! Yeah, they were broadcasting from in that room, weren't they?
A cogitator at the far end of the room near an organ, close to the pulpit.
Okay, I've got to hold up the group and be like, "Halt, fuck, wait."
No, you need to stay here for the. Then he's pointing towards the symbol that he's holding.
Okay, use that. See if you can put your inquisitorial override in and get through to the ship. Tell Inquisitor I need a clearance team and I need we need stasis and purity caskets for that, and probably that book in your hands, yeah?
And he's going to hold the book out towards Constantine to see if he's going to just take it so he can go do this, or...
Don't want to touch the book, but okay. Okay, I'll take the book from you.
All right, and Severin will take off back the other way, just watching for any blood pools that might be moving.
There is...
Or will follow Severin.
Yeah, absolutely. Tor, Severin, as you step into the room, there are still, in the larger pools of blood that have formed from the various corpses and the statues, you would catch the odd glimpse of baleful eyes looking in your direction. But this time, the silhouettes on the other side of the puddles of blood seem to be much further away, as if whatever lurked behind them has turned to find entertainment elsewhere. You're not completely alone. There is still some eyes on you, but not the tens that there were before.
Very well. Tor, can you punch the buttons and get through to the ship?
Very well. I might need to perform a rite on these before we can get through, though.
Yeah.
So,
Cultist taint will be on it as well. Never knows in their browser history.
Or is going to take out his sacred unguents and perform a rite of cleansing first.
Okay.
Before trying to contact the ship.
Roll me an easy tech skill, please, Tor.
Firing up the McAfee.
Shit gets everywhere.
It's been infected by Norton. All right. As you begin to look over the console, Tor, and begin the rituals, it seems that whatever this cogitator has been used for, it has suffered. Every command that you issue seems to take longer than it should. Every response either throws up an error or hangs, causing you to have to restart the ritual, but eventually, with a loud blip, the cogitator finally makes a connection back to the Vox network. A clean one this time.
Tor's gonna get Severin's attention. Severin, you're patched in.
All right. Just a moment here. Inquisitor to Severin. Come in. Inquisitor Vittoria to Severin, come in.
Severin? Severin! Ah, good. Where's my report? What's happening down there?
The words of Inquisitor Vittoria, Ariana Afhaldona ring through.
We need multiple, at least 2 purity containment devices for artifacts, and we have rooted out the nest of the heart of the cultists. The body may die now that the head is off, but Constantine and the others are making their way to the surface now with the payload.
Very well. Understood. I will pass the message down to deliver the items requested. Any casualties?
Of ours, none. Of theirs, and he just briefly looks around. Hopefully all here.
Understood. The situation on the surface is... Well, if you're making your way back up, your orders are to exterminate any of the penitents of the blood on your return. Do I make myself clear?
Perfectly.
Very well. Contact me when you're topside for a full report.
Very well. And Severin's going to close off the connection. Tor, perhaps we should put this thing out of its misery if it was being used so ill for so long.
Yes, I agree. It's been used to download too many LimeWire links.
We're fucking showing our age now, boys.
And Tor's going to start working on turning off the cogitator.
Okay. With a 5-minute or so ceremony. In fact, Tor, what's this final send-off, this ceremony, what does it consist of? How do you put the spirit of an ancient cogitator to rest?
I knew you were going to do this. So basically, he's just going to chant a small prayer to the Omnissiah as he does this. Every single button press is going to be as gentle as it can be. Basically, trying to give this ancient cogitator an easy send-off. And then whenever he goes to basically pull the plug, he's going to pour a little bit more of the sacred unguents on the cogitator and perform a rite of
Sanctus deletus.
a rite of deleting the history, yes.
He pulls the PSU.
With a brief flicker from the cogitator, the screen fades. The tortured existence of this ancient machine now cleansed, put to rest, no longer used for the machinations of heresies against both the God Emperor and, more importantly, the Omnisire.
Alright, Severin. It is done. We can go.
All right, let's catch them up. And Severin's going to keep pace with Tor and just basically be ready to blast anybody who might try to ambush them.
All right. The journey this far down through the multiple layers of the ossuary took a considerable amount of time, and whilst you have a map, just the sheer scale and size of this thing deems another trek back.
On the way back, we're also got to pick up the bolter, the heavy bolter that was stashed.
So, with that said, let's head back to the ossuary of Martyrdom's Rest. Stepping back up the blackened stone stairwell to the lower 7th level of the ossuary, you take a brief detour back towards the blood-soaked reservoir to pick up the heavy bolter and the ammo backpack that you stripped out from the servitor prior. This room, in fact, let's just because I made the scene, let's go back to this.
I made it. I'm going to use it.
I've made it. I'm going to show it off. The previous cold temperatures, the taint of this room from the warp no longer seems to hang in the air as it did prior. With the crystal removed from the effigy of St. Tarsian, with Father Albrecht and the cultists laying dead in the cathedral below, some semblance of stillness, of normality has returned. Now, granted, the sheer amount of bodies here that have polluted the reservoir still means that this vast expanse of underground water is stained red, and perhaps will stay red for the rest of time. But with no power being served to the pump station, it's quiet. The odd drip to be the only note, but at this, backpack, heavy bolter in tow, along with the shard and the tome found on Father Albrecht's pulpit, begin to make your way back towards topside. Anything interesting happen on the way topside?
I mean, since you mentioned destroy any remaining penitents, maybe like another group, like we bump into, and
What happens to
Errol happens to them.
All right, I'll say on the return back, as you get towards the 4th level, there are dribs and drabs of other penitents who are making their way into the ossuary. They seem a little panicked. There's no cohesion, no order to the groups. It seems almost as if they're stragglers, as if trying to escape something. But yeah, you end up bumping into a group of 7 penitents of the blood on your way back up. Errol, what do you do?
I just go charging into him with the shield and just crump him against the wall.
Strawberry jam him against the wall. There's a piercing scream from some of the penitents as they're squished into the stonework. Their bones now added to the thousands of others here in the ossuary. Anything else anyone wishes to do whilst you're down here? Anything interesting happen?
Not really. No.
No. All right. Look at this! Look at this chat. You give the players some chance to show off their characters, and they're like, "No, we're just gonna walk down."
Finley is definitely a hold to that thing. Doesn't want it to break.
The only thing I could think of is immediately after they're leaving, and it's Severin and Tor.
Mm-hmm.
There's one cultist that wanders into the path, and Tor basically just jumps on and wraps around them and starts like trying to sedate them and everything because he has this fixation with trying to like take captives, like it's some kind of big mech spider or something. And so Severin just has to shoot the guy and put him down before Tor can add more baggage
more
to their
baggage.
trip.
And now Tor isn't Noros.
Well, you legitimately drugged and dragged the woman back out of the chapel at the end.
Human shield.
That's about it. Just
Yes.
a few random stray cultists blasted down with bolts, but there's nobody of import left at this point.
Correct. So, with that said, then the next few hours are spent making your way from the lower level 7 all the way back up to the first level into the maintenance shafts, finally reaching the the question is, are you going back the same way you came in?
Yeah, but avoiding any of the pitfalls or cave-ins that happened on the way here. So with the foresight of, we know where the fucking holes are.
Of course.
We'll navigate around them.
Okay. So with that then, you continue back up, eventually reaching the access ports that lead into the Dormitoria Sacrum, the place that you entered. The dormitory, the living space, the living quarters of the ecclesiarchy and various other priests that live here on Sanctus Bellum. With the doors sliding open, revealing the grungy but clean interior of the dormitoria, you are met with panicked cries and shouts that seem to echo all around. Priests make their way out of their chambers, some in prayer outside, others have locked themselves. Small faction are perhaps grabbing whatever belongings they have and are fleeing. In the distance, echoing down the corridors, you can hear the heavy, continuous thrum of automatic weapons. Heavy bolters, heavy stubbers, guns on the walls of the cathedral, servitors, combat servitors built into the walls, also just going to town. And then you hear the screams. Thousands of screams. Some of terror, some of pain. It sounds like you've stepped into a war zone, but here none of the priests in the dormitoria seem to hold any hostile intent to you. In fact, seeing an armed group such as yourselves emerge, they're terrified. They flee.
Before we saw people with red armbands, so there's no, like, up in the cathedral now, there's no more penitence of the blood just lingering about, right?
Roll me a very easy sight check. So, no, you don't see any of the priesthood with these red armbands. On your journey through the dormitory, though, you would see that some have been removed, cast off, thrown to the ground, giving you the impression that maybe some of them have repented. Some may be fleeing for their lives in terror, others, well, who knows? But no, you don't see any individuals wearing the penitent of the blood armbands.
Okay, so then our first job is to get both of these fucking artifacts in sealed stasis crates with fucking purity seals on them. Because they're sure as shit not staying on this fucking planet.
Okay. You make your way
to outside, yeah.
Yeah. You make your way now through the dormitoria, pushing past the odd gaggle of priests who hurriedly pass you before eventually reaching Sanctus Bellum Cathedral proper. Here in the grand chamber of the cathedral, you hear from the main entrance now the louder sound of gunfire. The interior of the cathedral itself, though, seems relatively quiet now. There are signs, as you make your way through, of a scuffle being fought here. The odd pillar that has been broken. Las blast marks in some statues. Section of the floor caved in, broken by some form of explosive. There are small signs of combat dotted around, but now you are just met with dust, the odd corpse of pilgrims, priests, enforcer, but mostly corpses of penitents of the blood. Here there would be small teams of enforcers going round, gathering up the bodies into larger piles in the cathedral. It seems whatever situation happened in here is now completely under control.
Now that we're topside, Finley would put down the Voxcaster and hand like the microphone or the earpiece over to Severin to get in contact with the Inquisitor.
If it's offered to him, Severin will take the microphone.
All right. Voxcom in hand.
You're dialed in. Open a clear channel.
Inquisitor Vittoria, we have emerged to the surface. We are by the main entrance of the cathedral, and we have the packages in hand. No remaining penitents of the blood discovered here. They have gone to ground, if they remain.
This is the Inquisitor. Understood, Severin, understood. Your requested items should be on their way shortly. I've tapped into the box units and had a brief word with the Marshal. Step outside when you get a moment. Your carriage awaits.
Affirmative. Severin out will be on our way shortly, and he's going to put the microphone back on the Voxcaster and look at Finley and Constantine. Our ride's waiting.
Good. My feet hurt.
All right. Probably can get off this bloody planet.
going home?
Yes, we're going home, Errol.
Yeah, lunchtime.
I think it's past you, Errol.
To lunch?
Yes. Yes, Errol, to lunch.
Nice.
And I'll start looking for our ride. I'm guessing probably it's a chimera of some kind.
So, stepping out of the main doors reveals the plaza of the cathedral. It seems that the last time you were here, there were thousands upon thousands of pilgrims. Now, a cordon has been pushed out. You see the enforcers of the planet, along with black jumpsuited individuals in a flak armor bearing the red inquisitorial eye. Familiar troops, those of Vittoria's own corps, are assisting in, at this point, seems to be rounding up either any survivors or pushing out the last few penitents of the blood. About a kilometre away, you see signs of fighting going on, the odd explosion, the sound of heavy bolters and stubbers roaring away. Lasguns seem to flick across the sky. And glancing in that direction, you see that there's, at this point, probably, at a guess, and a quick glance, 300 to 400 of the penitents of the blood left, but with the enforcers and their backup, it seems they are being well and truly brought to heel. Several Lima Russ tanks have been brought down from orbit to assist. One of them, the name at the top of my head eludes me, but rather than a battle cannon mounted on the turret, there is just a large multi-barreled assault cannon. And the heavy roar you can hear from that just seems to be putting in work to put down the last of the rebellion. But as for your ride, you see making its way from the landing pad at the far end of the plaza, the same chimera you rode in on the way here. But this time, it seems that it's had a new track put on. The heavy bolter on the front of it has dripping what seems to be molten slag, having taken a perhaps a missile or an explosive earlier, and it is riddled side to side with bullet holes. On top of it, though, you would see the familiar form of the Marshal. This time, rather than the somewhat casual uniform he was wearing before, he seems now to have a long coat thrown over him and a rather prominent, wide-brimmed officer's cap atop his head. There are a few cuts and scrapes on his visage as this chimera rolls up in front of you.
Welcome back, my lords. It's been at least a day since we last spoke.
Good to see you as well, Marshal. Seems you're getting everything under control here.
With the assistance of the inquisitorial forces, my lord, yes. There was a brief scuffle, but we are making progress.
Good, good.
Glances around to see what you've all got, and then he motions towards the back of the chimera as two guardsmen take off a rather large ammunition crate, opening it up.
I believe the requested items have been dispatched, and well,
He motions towards the crate.
pick them up from the far end from the Valkyrie over there. Anything of import that you need immediately?
Constantine's, because he got shot like in the head, and it's like a graze and a cut, like across, like just above where his temple is. He's like hat. I can't go in front of the Inquisitor with this. You don't by chance have a hat I can borrow? So he's gonna go on the back of a chimera in search of a hat.
A hat, my lord.
It's all right. I found one.
Okay. Yes, my lord.
And he comes out the chimera wearing the marshal's peaked cap. What's a good fit? Does it cover the wound?
That would be mine, sire. I believe I have a second top hat in there that would look rather dapper on you, if I may say so. Would that not be more your interest?
No, this will do wonderfully. Don't want to look too extravagant or take away your best look. Besides, with the planet in martial law, you'll be acting governor. You'll want to look your best with your best top hat. And he's gonna nod to him with his hat and just walk off in the direction of the Valkyrie.
Okay, I would say that's an officer's cap would probably be like a mesh helmet or a mesh cowl or something of that sort. So there's a brief moment where the marshal raises a hand to try and stop you before exhaling and looking towards you, Finley.
Finley just shrugs.
Right, well, very well. I trust the Vox has been rather quiet for some time, so I am under the impression that the head was cut off the snake, as I believe you said earlier.
Yes, the head has been cut off the snake, so it's just more of a matter of finding the last of this penitents of the blood and doing what we must with them.
As Constantine walks away, the Inquisitor was very explicit. Any members of the penitents of the blood shall be executed for heresy against the throne. Thank you, Marshal.
Understood, sire.
Go on, Finley.
Finley's gonna walk past the marshal, give him a tap on the shoulder with his hand before just finding a seat and sitting down.
Okay. So, Constantine walked off towards the Valkyrie, which is a good couple of mile walk. Finley, you were the smart one. You sat in the Chimera. It's open top. What's the rest of you doing? Bear in mind the crate containing the seals, the stasis chamber, or the stasis vault was dropped off as well.
I'll have dropped the book in the stasis crate before I wandered off.
Yep, Crystal will go in there, or the shard will go in there as well.
Okay. Tor, Severin, Errol, anything you're particularly doing?
As Tor walks past the marshal, does he notice like this marshal's in like a tired state at all?
I would say without a shadow of a doubt, yes. The marshal has probably not slept much, if at all, since you last saw him over a day ago.
So as Tor walks past, he's not going to say anything, but his mechadendrite is just going to like poke into the marshal's shoulder, and he's going to inject a battle stem, and then sit in the Chimera.
Roll me a challenging stealth, please.
Oh no.
Um,
Nope.
I don't think you're exactly subtle about this, as the marshal turns towards you, Tor, and as this mechadendrite just slams into his shoulder, injects him with a concoction, he just looks at you, blinks.
My lord. Oh. Oh. What did you just do, my lord?
You're looking tired, Marshal. Just to help you ease those nerves of yours.
Very. Oh. Very, very good, sir. Oh.
He immediately perks up as the stimulants just course through him. He straightens his back, reaches into the chimera, dons the top hat.
Well, they will transport you to your awaiting Valkyrie. You sure you don't wish to stay to marvel at the last bits of handiwork, my lord?
I had to put down an ancient cogitator today. Not exactly in the right mind for it.
The marshal bows his head, makes the sign of the Aquila before bringing a finger to his ear to pass a message to the driver of the chimera to continue towards the drop zone. Errol.
Errol stood stock still, looking from the chimera on one side to Constantine walking on his own to the other side. Indecision just on his face. He's like, come on, chimera.
Chimera starts to set off. Go on.
But he can't pronounce chimera. It's like chimera.
So bear in mind, this is kind of an open-backed version, typically used for commanders and reconnaissance. But yeah, with the chimera setting off, it starts to drive past Constantine.
Constantine in a world of his own till it drives past. He goes, "Oh shit! Hold on, Errol, what are you doing standing round?"
And Errol just takes off at a run. Dum, 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 dum.
Doesn't take much. Yeah, go on.
In a gacking world of my own, I was there.
Yeah, catching up, you jump onto the back of the chimera as it begins to rumble down the road towards the landing pad just off the plaza where you initially touched down. Here, several Valkyries have landed, and you still see the odd one coming in, others returning back to the temerity of a feat in orbit. A constant cycle of fresh soldiers and munitions being brought down from the cruiser ahead, above. And on that journey back, I think we'll have our last refill o'clock for the evening, shall we?
Very well.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll be right back.
All right, we will be but a moment. Got him. There you go. Hatted. All right, we won't be a moment, folks. We're going to refill on the liquid, and yeah, I think we're looking at closing this out now. Good stuff. Good stuff. Burb. I have returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back.
Ta. Chaos with Hoodie Badger. How are you? Cheers, Jesse. Oh. So, with that said then, the return journey back to the temerity of a feat. On board the Valkyrie, with you all crammed into the back, this time a rather large munitions case propped up in the centre that now houses the status unit for the crystal and a secure sealed container for the tome. It's probably at this point where the situation would be understandable to each of you. You know, you went in there pretty hard, pretty fast. Any comments between the crew?
That was good work there with the Ripper, Earl. Well done.
It good.
How is everybody for equipment? Ammunition, grenades? I'll add a requisition list.
Needs.
Okay. What do you need? And he's going to add a requisition list on the bottom because on the flight to the ship because it takes probably like an hour or two to get.
Yeah.
So we'll use it. Go on.
4 crack grenades.
You didn't use 4 crack. What are you talking about?
And I want 1 more.
Oh. I mean, it is a round
I went through all the crack grenades I had. And then I'll need like 5 regular, or actually, quickly counts how many he has left. I'll need 2 more frag grenades.
2 frag, 4 crack. Okay. Okay. Errol. Oh fuck. How many boxes did you use?
No box.
No.
I hold up my box.
Shit. Was anybody counting the magazines Errol used?
It slipped my mind.
I don't quite remember.
Gek.
Nope, don't really remember. But it looked like that mutant he was fighting and emptied the whole thing into it, though.
Yes. Errol, could you show me how many magazines you have left?
Errol just takes his pack off, opens it, and holds it open.
That's very good. Replacement ammo for Errol. Tordy. No, never mind.
Actually, I know it's not proper equipment.
Go
Could I
on.
get some more sacred ungivens?
Sacred unguents. I'll see. Can't promise anything, but maybe the tech priests on the ship shall have some.
Ooh. Also
What?
put on there, we need a combat servitor.
Where's the prisoner?
A prisoner.
The one that you were using as a human shield, Tor.
Left behind.
Could have kept that. Did we bring the heavy bolter? Yes, we brought the heavy bolter.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Requisition 1 times combat servitor. Yes, sure. Severin, my man, how about you? What do you need?
I think I only had to reload a couple of times.
So just some magazines for the hot shots.
Watch that. Should be it. Good thing we had the auspex, though. Came in very handy.
Very true. Very true. Keep hold of that. Should maybe get myself one. But then I'd have to carry it. Maybe not. That's what I've got you guys for. Right. Any questions? Any comments? Anything anybody else to say about the mission?
That went pretty well, in my opinion. We got in there as quickly as we could and dealt with it.
True. Sometimes a sledgehammer, sometimes a scalpel. Today we were both. Actually, how long have we been awake for? And he looks at his chrono and he's like, oh.
Do you need some stimulants?
No. I'm quite all right, Tor. Get that thing away from me.
I do wish we could have brought back some of that creature for further study, though.
It was just
Yes.
a mutant. Nothing special about it.
Yes, and it started to dissolving once Errol made it into a puddle of meaty chunks. So things like that are not long for this world.
This is true.
At that moment, oops, we're going Errol.
Meaty chunks.
Yes, Errol. Meaty chunks.
All right, boys and girls. We're looking to dock within the next 20 or so minutes. The hangars are pretty lively at the minute, so I hope you're all comfortable in the back there.
No, there's 5 of us and one of which is an Ogren. We're in the back of a Valkyrie. What about this is comfortable?
That's what I like to hear. 20 minutes. We'll have you out of this tin can.
From the holographic display at the head of the Valkyrie, you see that's on the map projected. You are in a queue of about 4 other Valkyries. It seems that this rolling drop of munitions and troops has been going on for a while. And there is a bit of a delay trying to get back into the ship.
While we're waiting, I'll get Tor to look at my head wound. Tor, I've got a cut here. Could you look at it?
I thought you didn't like Megan didn't right next to you.
No, I don't like it in me. There's a difference.
Very well, very well. And Tor's going to inspect his head wound, and depending on the severity of it, take care of it right away.
Okay. Make me a routine Medicaid test, please. Smashed it. You can heal up to wounds equal to the SL plus your intelligence bonus. So that would be 3 plus... your intelligence is 43, so 4, so up to 7 HP.
Shit, I only had 2. Nice.
What's this look like as you go over Constantine's wound?
First he's just going to inspect it and try and clean it up a little bit. And then, being as we have plenty of time, he's going to use his little mechadendrite and start sewing the skin back together for putting like a salve to make sure the skin stays nice and loose.
Nice.
Synth skin patch.
Slaps it on. Stitches. Excellent. Anybody else need a bit of TLC?
Errol's just going to fall asleep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tor was the only other
Yes.
one that got hurt. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess Tor's going to tend to himself now.
All right. Tending to yourself is a little more difficult, so that would be a challenging roll, but go for it. 2 plus 4, 6.
That didn't work out too bad. Fully healed.
Yeah. How? What wound did you sustain? How do? How'd you stitch that one up?
If I remember correctly, in the first episode, he was shot in the head.
Yeah.
So basically, he's just going to, much like he did to Constantine, he's going to clean the wound, stitch the skin back up, and then there's still going to be, some kind of sparks, since half of his head is mechanical. So he's going to do what he can to repair that with the limited supplies in the Valkyrie.
Mm-hmm.
Before using a synth skin patch over it.
With Errol asleep, you tending to your own wounds, Finley and Severin, I would say, what, you chilling in the back of the Valkyrie, just waiting for the return?
Yeah. Finley's just kind of chilling. He's just leaned up, trying to close his eyes and get some sleep in the Valkyrie, but just can't seem to do it.
Yeah.
Probably because Errol's snoring.
With a heavy hydraulic thunk, you feel the Valkyrie shudder as it lands in the Temerity of Effeat's docking bay. A quick crackle over the Voxcom from the pilot basically signals your arrival. And with that, welcome back home, boys and girls. Drop in the ramp, stay clear. With a hiss, the ramp at the back of the Valkyrie drops down, revealing the docking bay, a hive of activity. Multiple servitors are moving guns, ammunition onto other Valkyries. You see squads of guardsmen, fully geared, also ready to step in to be transported planet side. As you step off the Valkyrie into this hustle and bustle, you would probably see a servitor make its way up towards Errol, a weapon in one hand, and on the other side, rather than having a claw, it seems to have a Mechanicus assembly device, along with a few of own mechadendrites that protrude over the top. And it looks towards you, Errol, and you just hear this voice.
Assemble.
Juts out the gun towards you, Errol.
Errol scratches. Farts.
Assemble.
Several of the whirring blades start to make their way towards you, Errol, as the other hand with a weapon reaches out.
And Errol just yawns and stretches, and totally by accident just knocks his thing completely out of his way as he lumbers up, picks his gear up.
The gun clatters to the ground. The servitor slowly turns its head to look at it. Back towards you, Errol, and then towards another tech priest who's nearby.
Unable to comprehend. Unable to install. Assistance required.
At that, the tech priest looks around, sees you, Errol, storming off, sees the servitor, shakes his head, and just hear this, "Oh, Omnisire, bless me this day. Not that one, you fool. There are others that's required for. Pick it up, move on."
Affirmative.
What are the rest of you up to?
Finley will ask anyone want to help me get this thing out of here so we can not leave these relics here.
Errol lumbers over.
Comes back.
Breakfast.
We have to take this to the boss first, Errol.
Okay. He just picks it up with one arm and bangs it on his shoulder.
Finley's still holding on as this happens, and then he lets go and kind of drops to the ground, not really expecting it. Good God, let me know next time that happens, Earl, please.
Oh, lighter.
So, with that, if there is nothing further from anyone, you make your way through the chambers towards one of the cargo lifts that takes you up towards the officer's deck. Stepping out, you are met with the stationary gun servitors that provide protection for the upper decks. They scan you for a brief moment before shutting down, their guns going limp, and you stride across the hallway in the direction of the Inquisitor's office. Any last minute changes or anything anyone wishes to do before having a chat with Lady Vittoria?
None.
Nope.
No, everyone's having breakfast after this, so he just wants to get going.
With the doors sliding open to the familiar office of Vittoria, you step inside. Errol, you with this giant munitions crate over your shoulder, and Lady Vittoria looks up from the desk, her arched brow.
Ah, gentlemen, welcome back. Seems you've brought me something interesting. Though it would have been nice to have received your report on your way back, rather than waiting.
She stares towards you, Constantine.
I was receiving medical attention.
On your hand?
No, my lord. On my head.
Well, Tor, next time, try and tweak a few of the screws in there just to make sure that he can follow orders properly. So, rather than me being fully briefed on the situation, I now have to hear it from you. Go on.
First hand. Yeah. We ascended to the planet.
She
and
holds up a
upon-
finger for a moment.
Errol, be a dear. You can place that down on the ground. I can see you're drooling at the corner there.
Books. And I put
Yes.
it down where, in the sort of area she's
Motioning.
indicating.
Good. She motions a flick of a hand towards the back end of the room where there's a very small trolley that has a few bowls of various exquisite nibbles. And she just motions a hand towards you, Errol.
Treat yourselves. Otherwise, I'll never get to the end of this. Right, sorry. Constantine, carry on.
Errol, what are you up to?
Oh, I'm going straight for the trolley. I'm going to sit down next to it and pick things up very gently between finger and thumb. Try not to break anything because it's the lady.
She curls her fingers on the desk and looks towards the remaining four, and then to you, Constantine.
So, after departing the temerity of a feat,
Yes, we arrived on planet, but beforehand, Finley received it. Well, intercepted actually. Vox chatter from the surface from the group.
is that so, Finley? Go on. What details?
She'll look towards
Yes, Finley.
Finley.
Details.
The Voxcaster was picking up chatter of from what we now know as the penitence of the blood, talking about the local forces being heretics, everyone being heretics, and that they sounded like they were on the verge of a rebellion.
Okay, so with the details, at least you had a voice to put down. These Vox communications, they continued sporadically, or was it just a one-off thing?
No, they kept going the entire time, though they were cutting in and out over other communications happening. They seemed to be underneath everything.
Okay, so at least you went in with some semblance. Good, good. Carry on.
Turns her attention back towards you, Constantine.
Well, upon arriving and meeting with the marshal, Finley went off to track the location of our signal, while Severin and Tor went to investigate the blood.
Ah, is that so? Severin,
Yes.
details?
Toward discuss. Well, according to my findings with the aspects, the blood was in fact did have blood in it, but it had signatures of warp residue, and Tor found as much as well. And that was the start of our pursuit of this as the work of some heretic.
You would all hear the sound of pen on parchment as the cogitator at the side of the room and the attached servo scribe is basically writing down what you're saying. Constantine, due to the fact that you didn't hand a report in, she does offer you a bit of a scowl and then back motions towards the servo scribe.
This will be your report for the archives. Understood?
Constantine just kind of looks at his this finely written report on his data slate and goes, "It is as my lady wills."
So, Auspex reading. Tor. Blood?
There was a combination of actually a multitudes of different DNA. The most intriguing aspect of it there was its mutative aspects. Excessive healing. It could cause looks like warp spawn mutations, like glowing veins, hardened skin, etc. However, upon closer inspection to the blood, it looked as if it was almost carved into chaos runes.
Okay. So, at least then with that detail, you said the Marshal and his... how are the forces handling down there at the time?
Struggling to keep the cold, my lady.
Okay, so at least now I'm aware that... blood... Okay, excellent. Do continue, Constantine. So, after the inspection of the blood...
Yes, before that, can I just make a remark regarding the Marshal and the local PDF? Just for the record, the Marshal and his troops did exquisitely well with the resources ahead, and the PDF is wholly insufficient for the planet, as most of them either gave up their posts to join the congregations or just didn't show up at all. Thus why your forces needed to intervene.
Just offers a single nod in response to this.
While Tor and Severin went to the blood, myself and Errol met the Cardinal himself, who gave us the direction. He hadn't been complacent in his duties. He had already sent out more than one group to investigate where this blood had come from. He had one priest that had gone missing, which was our next point of call. We found the priest in his domes, dead. I presume, I believe Tor has the full cause of death in the report I read. We believe he tore his own eyes out and died via exsanguination. Due to madness, he was also afflicted by use through the blood.
Very well. Do continue.
Our next point of call was the reliquary of the saint itself. We descended down and found, upon inspection, there was a hidden chamber below. Going into this chamber, we found that it was empty, but high levels of warp currents were detected in the area. However, the item that had created this was missing.
And by deduction, I assume that the missing item...
And she motions a hand towards the crate laid in front of her.
Yes, ma'am. Thus the stasis cage and the purity seals.
I see. So...
We then...
No, by all means, go on.
She leans back in the chair, folds her arms, crosses a leg over one knee.
We then tracked this brotherhood to the sub-levels of the cathedral itself, encountered on more than one occasion units, found that they had indeed been using the pump station there to, let's say, hoax this blood of the Emperor. It was none of the sort. It was heretics literally bloodletting and using the pumping, cleaning, old ancient cleaning station for the statues to simulate the blood of the Emperor. However, this blood is all tainted. We did shut that down. However, it is still full of tainted blood. I believe a containment unit should be sent down, and that entire area should be purged and cleansed by priests, and probably tech priests.
Understood. In regards to the mastermind behind all of this, I assume he has been given the Emperor's mercy?
Yes. Finley made sure he definitely got the Emperor's wrath.
Good. So, in regards to, you can hand me that report over now. She just offers a slight shitty smirk as she extends a hand over the desk towards you.
He'll put it on her desk and then just slide it to her, spin it round.
Taking it in hand, she begins to read over the details.
So, Marshal and the Enforcer's recommendations?
Yes. Marshal especially kept the entire planet in order. If not for him, I suspect this corruption would have spread far and wide.
The rest
I
of
may
you...
speak further on that.
Of course, I was about to ask if there was anything to add on regards to that. Please go ahead, Finley.
He was more than willing to be of assistance and provide anything that we needed, along with those under his command. If it had not been for them and the temporary communications hub that they had set up, we would not have been able to have tracked down where the signal was originating from, and then prompting them to tighten their cordons and pull back all the enforcers that they needed. Though I do agree with Constantine's assessment that the local PDF was lacking.
Finley, this Marshal and members of the enforcement forces, would you say they would be beneficial going forward to our cause?
The Marshal, yes, and those that assisted with the communications, yes. I do believe they would be key assets to have under our command.
Excellent. We will be stationed here for...
And she's still been reading as she's talking.
It's at least a month, I imagine, before moving out. Make sure everything is in compliance. So, once you're rested, recuperated, fed, watered, Finley, you want to go back planetside and recruit the Marshal and any and all available resources at his disposal. Understood?
Understood.
Good. So, that's the Marshal out of the way. Planetary government in this Cardinal. Thoughts?
Adequate at his job, however, I think he might need some off-world guard forces to bolster his lackluster PDF. Especially if we're taking the Marshal. Neighboring system, perhaps?
Congratulations, Constantine. That is your task. Go through some of the files on the local systems, planets, find a suitable second, perhaps a few other of the ecclesiarchy who may assist in keeping this flock of sheep compliant.
Of course.
With that said then, that leaves us with the rest, the various off-world pilgrims, on-world pilgrims, preachers, priests, potential heretics. Severin, any thoughts on this?
As far as the potential heretics, there's... Seems that they were very quick to disband, but as far as stepping them all out, the priests in the quarters should know who all was doing what. I think that the records of who was staying there and the knowledge that if they don't present the traders, I think that will motivate them sufficiently to bring anyone forward.
Understood. Any other potential issues that may arise just from the management of the planet? She'll glance around to the entire group at this.
Well, Finley's gonna pipe up. Well, it's gonna be the problem is gonna be rooting out any of these penitents. They're gonna be fleeing by the sounds of it. I do believe there were red bands on the ground when we were leaving the cathedral. So they may be trying to blend into the local populace.
In that case, Constantine, expand your search for competent seconds to also include additional security detachments from nearby worlds. Bring them over. They can take over when we depart. And potentially some excruciator teams would be beneficial as well, just to root out any further heresies here.
Of course, I'll go planet side, and along with recruiting, I'll assist with interrogation.
Understood. Errol,
Yes, lady.
you're on protection duty for Constantine, Finley, Severin, and Tor when they make planet side. Understood?
Yes, lady.
Good. Gentlemen, if you are heading planet side, make sure you take Errol with you.
I wouldn't dream of leaving the ship without him, milady.
Tor, in regards to a recurrence of this blood, with it being still, is it still tainted? Could this happen again, perhaps? Or would you say, with your estimations, that we are out of the woods for now?
To be honest, milady, we should send purification teams down and at least guarantee that this site is clean of all the blood. For the testing will need to be done in order to verify any chaos taint is removed, since we have the crystal up here. I would also like to test the higher-ups in the ecclesiarchy, make sure that none of them have this taint on them as well.
For the moment, you are in charge of clearing up the mess below. Make sure this reservoir is purged and this chapel. Severin, in the meantime, you will be leading the interrogations, or she'll point towards Tor, assisting with the other side of Tor's detail.
Thank you, lady.
She'll then look towards you, back to you, Constantine. Anything further? What exactly is in this here case?
We believe one, if not both artifacts were in storage. I believe one is a heretical item used to house some sort of demon, and the book, I haven't studied it myself, but possibly chaos scripture.
I see. In that case, those need to be transported to the reliquary below deck. I'll send for some priests to deal with that, but... Good work, gentlemen. In just over a day as well. Record time compared to the last one.
Sometimes chaos is bold, my lady.
Very well. In that case, then, you are all dismissed. Rest, recuperate, and then further orders will be pushed down the line.
Constantine's going to make the sign of the colour and start backing out.
Also, funds will be paid, and should you require any, you know where the bloody armor is.
Of course, the relevant request forms have already been put in.
As Constantine is that. Oh, he said the. Finley's piping up, and here's requisition form. He's like, oh, and then just shuts up.
So with a wave of the hand, unless anyone has anything they wish to broach with Inquisitor Vittoria, you're free to depart.
Errol gets up and leaves a now empty trolley.
Errol,
Yes, lady.
on your way back, bring me a new box of nibbles.
Yes, lady.
Thank you. And with a mission done, nice, easy, at least for what you've dealt with in the past, you're left to your own devices to rest, recuperate.
Finley's gonna
Back to
follow
work.
Earl to the mess hall. Get some food before getting some shut eye and having to go plant side again.
Excellent. So, in regards to rewards for that, I'm sure we'll find out whether or not you get a servitor next time. For this whole arc, that was, 4 sessions? I think that warrants... So, supposedly, the recommended XP per session is meant to be about 50 XP, so I think for that 150 XP reward is very generous. As for actual cash, I need to double check and work that out because I can't remember, or well, not remember, I can't find easily where the payment thing is. Let's go with 500 solars in cold hard credits. So 150 XP and 500 solars is the main reward, the main payment offered.
Do we just add that directly to our total then?
Yep, add that to your total. And it seems you boys have got some interesting little tasks to do in the month ahead whilst you restore peace and order to Sanctus Bellum.
Look forward to seeing the Marshal again.
Anything else anyone wishes to tack on or add? Because I think that's a pretty good a good sweep for our first foray into Imperium Maledictum.
I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. Looking
it's
forward
great.
to more.
Yeah, just as a not so much rules light, but a more rule of cool, fresh players to it. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. This is not the last we'll be playing of Imperium Maledictum. We are going to take a bit of a break from this for the moment, just whilst I plan ahead and iron out some kinks, especially with the system, and again, just get a bit more savvy with the rules. And when we come back, we'll basically pick up where we left off with what you guys have been doing in this month of planet compliance. Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I've enjoyed it though. I've enjoyed it. It's been nice as a change of pace, as a change of worlds. Anything any of you guys wish to add?
I am really loving this. I like the setting. I've enjoyed all the characters. I am 150 million% ready for the next session. Even though I want it to be next Saturday, and I know we have to have a little bit of a break to get the story sorted. I can't wait. I am thoroughly excited.
Good. Yeah, we'll fear not. I've got some interesting ideas to put down. Well, anyone else have anything they wish to add before we close this out and find someone to raid?
It's really fun playing an idiot.
Let you clear your mind before you have to play Garrett.
Absolutely.
Like, remove brain, put brain. Sorry, go on, Severin.
Yeah, I mean, all I can say is, see you tomorrow for Pariahs, and maybe more in the future that's to be announced.
Yes. Huh?
Keep the space open, chat.
So in that case, I'm going to mute you guys. Say bye one last time.
Bye, chat.
I'm gonna mute them. I'm gonna head over to this. Yeah. Haha. There we go. We can have a chat. We can have a chat. And whilst the Eve Online music is nice, let's have something a little bit more interesting. There we go. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us for this 4 episode playthrough of Imperium Maledictum. Again, for we're new players to the system. I'm a new DM to the system. We probably got so many rules wrong. So many. There's probably people who may watch this in future and just absolutely scream at their monitors for just how fucking terrible we got some of the rules. But that's part of the fun of learning a new system. And at the end of the day, as far as I'm concerned, it's more about the RP and people enjoying what we do, and again, the players enjoying the campaign. So yeah, more to come in the future, definitely. Steel, thank you for the 70-month tier 3 resub though again, and Rayvon, thank you for the 17-month. Scobsu with your 68-month, thank you kindly. Yeti came in with the 9-month resub. Alarana, thank you for the follow. It is appreciated. And rules are rules aren't, they're not meant to be broken. They're kind of meant to be followed so they've got a level playing field. But I try, but when you've got D&D in one side of the brain, when you've only ever mostly played D&D, it can be difficult to step outside of that box. They're meant to give they're more like guidelines than rules. But what we'll do is see who else is streaming. Like Bones, they're not meant. Did you know that we are actually meat mechs? We are a pilot in a meaty mech suit. But with that said, next Saturday I won't be streaming. Boy needs a bit of a break, and Saturdays will be for a couple of weeks at least, while I plan stuff and take a breather. But on the Sundays, starting at 8 p.m. GMT, we do have Pariahs. Tomorrow's session, oh boy. Oh, have I got stuff planned for tomorrow. So if you like your grimdark, you like your gothic fantasy, yeah, tune in tomorrow for Pariahs. There may be interesting times ahead. Transform, I know. Who do we raid? I have got no one streaming. It's Saturday night and no one's streaming who I follow. Who's streaming in the tabletop RPG? I got nothing. So on that, I'm gonna be a piece of shit and call it there. But so again, thank you everyone for joining us, and I hope to see you all tomorrow for Pariahs. Yeah. Ta-ta for now. Enjoy the rest of your day. It's a bit anticlimactic without a raid, but... Bye!